Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So today I'm going to talk about the primary problem that I have, the primary issue that I have with my 2023 Lexus LX600 F Sport. And a lot of you guys are going to think this is pretty silly. Unless you frequent the channel, you may not. So you guys know I go through vehicles quite a bit, right? I know, stop the press, right? So this is news, right? I go through vehicles pretty quick. I tend to own a couple each year, and by a couple I mean about 49. And this one here is kind of puts me in a difficult position, right? And I knew this going into it, so don't get me wrong, I'm not naive to this, but this particular vehicle has a niche audience, has a niche market to it. Very few of these exist, and very few of them exist for a reason, right? So each year, we got a 570. Each year, they produce and sell right around 4,000 of these. And I think even a little bit less than that. No, excuse me, yeah, I think it was 3,800 or 3,700 of these sold in 2022, and in 2023, right around that number again. So yeah, don't totally quote me, but it is between 3,500 and 4,000 right there. And that's always been the case. Same goes for the Land Cruiser, okay? And I'll get to my point here in a second. So that's how many sell of the LX here. And before that, each year before that, it's been right around that 3,500 mark too. I think it's slowly gone up over the years. Why is that? And the most obvious is the price point, right? The price point is extremely high. This vehicle has an MSRP of $111,000 and some change. It is wicked expensive. You know, 9 out of 10 people, 9 out of 10 Americans are not trying to shop in this price range when there's dozens and dozens of other options within the 50,000 range, within the 40,000 range. Like, there's much more bearable price points to be at when you're trying to get an SUV. You know, you can get similar-ish SUVs and save about half as what you would spend on this LX here. So because of that, there hasn't been too many of them sold. Same goes for the Land Cruiser. Like the 200 series beforehand, you know, they sold anywhere between, again, like 3,000 to 4,500. That's been like the typical dating back to the 90s. And again, just because of that price point. That is a problem. That is an issue for me, someone like me who doesn't buy a vehicle to drive it for 20 years. I am the type of person to drive it and probably try to sell it within the year, right? And that's kind of how I am, and you guys know that. It's not a shocker. But that's a problem when there is a niche market. Comparatively to a 4Runner, in particular, 4Runner TRD Pro, I've owned a few of them, I love them. Those cost, you know, anywhere, yeah, I mean, they're about $55,000 now, $57,000 for a brand new TRD Pro 4Runner, 2024-23, right? That, I can pick up the phone. If I decide to sell it, whenever I want to sell it, I can pick up the phone and call just a few Toyota dealerships, and I guarantee it, each and every one of those dealerships that I call, if I ask them, hey, I got a 2023 4Runner TRD Pro Solar Octane with only a couple thousand miles on it, would you be interested in buying it? Each and every one of them, I guarantee it would say, absolutely, yes. When can you swing by? We'd love to get it. And I could sell that thing in a heartbeat. This is a different story, right? I mean, the fact that it costs so much money, even if I call Lexus dealerships, you know, it's going to be a different story, a different discussion. You know, there's a lot more involvement in trying to move this and trying to sell it or let go of it, right? You know, even most Lexus dealerships, they probably won't be jumping all over it for at least a good price point anyway. This is just difficult to sell. Not to mention if I were to throw it on Marketplace or Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that, or Auto Trader, this is just going to be a tougher sell because, like I said, there's not a whole lot of people buying them in general, especially when you compare it to SUVs like that 4Runner, right? So that's my biggest issue with it. Come time for me to want to move this thing, it will be a little bit more of a chore, much bigger of a chore than what I'm used to with my TRD Pros, my Tundra, Sequoia, the 4Runner. All those were super easy. This is going to be, just take some legwork. So that for me is the biggest issue with my LX600 F Sport here. Yeah, am I going to continue to enjoy it in the meantime? Absolutely. But this is the vehicle, no kidding, that you buy if you are the type to drive a vehicle till the wheels fall off. I hear a lot of people always say that. If you truly are that type of person, absolutely get this if you can. Right? So I did the math. $115,000 is about what I paid after the clear bra, window tint, a couple other goodies and tax. $115,000-ish. If you divide that by 20 years, that's $5,750 per year of ownership. Not to mention at the end of that 20 years, you'll still be able to get exceptional resale value out of it. If you kept the mileage-ish kind of low and kept it in good condition, it'll still sell extremely well. They're known to have great resale down the road. However, not so much three months after you buy it, right? So it is the vehicle you want to buy if you truly want to own it for several years with excellent peace of mind and get good coin at the end of it. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that this is going to be a problem to sell it? Do you think I'll actually have a difficult time selling this come that time? You know, there's not a whole lot of F Sports out there, so I think that kind of helps my case as far as the actual trim of the LX600 here. But still, I expect it to be a bit of a chore. Let me know what your thoughts are. Appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.